You know, if you put 10 duck hunters in a room and you start talking about duck numbers or pressure on birds, you're going to get about 100 different answers. So today I want to narrow that down to one simple question. Do we need to change our seasons and our dates? So I ran a poll to see what y'all thought. So I asked hunters if the seasons and dates were to be changed and adjusted, what would they prefer? 31% said that they would prefer a 30-day season with a 3 duck limit. 34% said that they would prefer a 40-day season with a 4 duck limit. 10% said they prefer a 45-day and a 6 duck limit. 24% of the people said that they would prefer a 60-day season and 6 ducks. So as you can see, they're pretty much split, but there is a good portion of them who are willing to adjust if there's some adjustments need to be made. So I tell you what, let's take a look at both sides of this. Some hunters feel that these adjustments could help. In many areas that are highly pressured, by lowering the season dates and lowering limits could, in fact, lower the pressure on the birds. Giving these ducks more rest could alleviate this pressure. It also might help them to migrate out of the more heavily pressured areas and continue on their normal migration patterns. Some hunters say that they'd rather have more quality hunts than more days of field. In other words, they'd rather see birds when they're actually migrating instead of just sitting in a blind and seeing nothing all day. By lowering the harvest, this could send more ducks back north and back to the nesting areas to produce more ducks for upcoming seasons. You also hear about more birds that are stacking up in the NWRs, state rest areas, and even some private lands. And legendary duck hunter Rick Dunn, on one of his podcasts, Duck Chatter, I think it was episode 128, he actually said that the birds are starting to short stop coming into Arkansas. They're short stopping in NWRs, they're short stopping in state rest areas and private lands with flooded cornfields. And he is also, in that podcast, he was advocating for shorter seasons and lowering the limits. A lot of hunters don't get the opportunity to hunt that often during the regular season. So by limiting the season dates, well, that would definitely reduce the number of days that they could actually hunt. Pressure, it just doesn't disappear. It just gets packed into fewer days in the swamps and the marshes and at the boat ramps. Northern states, well, they often freeze up very early, and that also shortens their season, but it does it naturally. Hunters fund wildlife conservation, period. No ifs, ands, buts about it. And by reducing limits and season dates, you could also lose those hunters and reduce that tax base coming in to fund these programs. Private land ownership. If the seasons are cut, if the limits are cut, a lot of these private landowners who pour a lot of money into their land, into their private land to manage waterfowl, well, they may figure out, well, it ain't worth it. Look, I don't pretend to know all the answers. I'm just an old duck hunter and just enjoying what I love to do, and that's duck hunt. And I just want to see my grandchildren see it and their grandchildren see it. Seasons, limits, pressure, flooded, unharvested corn ponds. Listen, it all plays a part, and there's no right answer, there's no wrong answer, and there's no one answer. But I do believe that these are conversations that we definitely need to have. Listen, I'd like to really know what y'all think. Do we need to change the seasons? Do we need to change the limits? Or are we looking in the wrong place? Are there other factors? Let me know down in the comments below. And we'll see y'all next time on Daddy Duck 365.